And we are live. Welcome to the Fanboy Modeling School. I am the Fat Mantis, and I'm here with my man
Steve, falling asleep on the couch. Real name, no gimmicks.
I can't believe you fessed up like that. You're really making yourself look like an old school cat right now.
Listen, man,
Not in a good way.
I try to keep it real, like really real, man. I was in the grocery store the other day with a book of coupons, right? And as I was making my way down the cherry aisle, I made sure to take a bite of every cherry and then talk to every stranger in that aisle and tell them how cherries used to not only be bigger, but they also used to be cheaper.
Oh my God. I just threw up in my mouth hearing that, man. Are you serious? I hate it. I hate it when old people talk to me about nonsense in public. I would rather them ask me to borrow money than them just talking nonsense. And you kind of look at them and you're like, yeah, totally. It is the worst, man. It is the worst.
It is the worst thing that ever happened, man. You get those cherries back to the original price, bro. I'm good, man. I am good. Super Bowl's over. Fanboy Modeling School, RizRadio.com. How the hell are you, big guy?
I'm amazing. I'm amazing. For those out there who are wondering, what's up with no theme music? We decided to just to dive in and swim today.
Yeah,
because we're starting a little late,
right?
You know, no worries. That sort of things happens. You know, there's curveballs in streaming. That's what life is, right?
That's what life is all about, man. Did I ever tell you the first time I drank an Arnold Palmer? It was 1999.
Oh my God, he's old. Go on.
He's so old. He won't die. Oh man. So have we talked since the Super Bowl? This is the first time we're talking, isn't it?
Yeah, this is actually the first real conversation other than sending memes in the group chat, right?
Yes, man. Philadelphia stomping all over Mahomes and the team of America.
I had too much fun with that. I think there's something really dark in my spirit and America's spirit. Like human beings are evil, sinful creatures, because I had so much fun watching the upper dog or the more beloved team get stomped and humiliated. I loved the look, between halftime when they walked off the field with 0 points.
Yeah,
I love the camera was showing them and the look on their faces. I ate it up.
Can I tell you something, man? I knew they were gonna lose in the first half. I'm like, they're gonna lose. I'm like, they're 100% Mahone and the boys are going to lose tonight, and it just kept getting worse. It was a weird sports weekend. You also know this little sport we call MMA, mixed marital arts. I had an event over in Australia, home of the shoey and all other deplorable things. And it was Sean Strickland, he's basically the Kanye of the MMA world, minus, sans the anti-Semitism, versus Drickus Duplessis, who is a white African.
Okay.
And it was the same thing, man. From the first bell, Sean Strickland was basically Patrick Mahone and the boys, but in the fighting world, he never got off. Pause.
So, wait, what happened?
It was one of the most boring fights. The first fight, this was a rematch. The first fight between Duplessis and Sean Strickland was just a barn burner, man. It was Sean Strickland's amazing jab and Philly shell, MMA augmented defense versus Drickus Duplessis, who's just a wild man and whose martial arts can only be compared to what real drunken kung fu would look like if someone used it.
And he won?
Yeah, he won, man. He actually, one of the most significant punches thrown in the fight was a punch Duplessis threw at Sean Strickland's butt cheek. This is a thing that happened.
Did you see this fight?
I did. I watched it and I regretted every moment of staying up until 1 a.m. watching it, man.
Because it was just so ridiculous.
Yeah, and it set the tone for me going into the Super Bowl, man. But it's all right, man, because we got to see Serena Williams do one for the culture.
and we've got to talk about that. And because we're pounding it out fast and hard today. Pause. We're getting straight into it. No honorable mentions. Kendrick Lamar's infamous Super Bowl halftime show. So many things to discuss. So many takes on the internet. Wild takes, bad takes, good takes, base takes. I don't know. What do you think?
Bro, so here's the thing, man. My initial reaction to the entire thing was I was like, meh. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I was like, the performance came and then it went. And I was just like, all right, because I'm used to hip hop live performances being subpar. I think you've heard me say this before. It's usually just some madman up on the street like screaming into the mic because a lot of rappers don't understand when you're live. You don't have to hold the mic that close to your face. Okay, a little distance. But visually, I thought it was very artistic.
Oh yes, you know what it is. Here's what it is: the dancing and all that stuff, particularly if you want to call that dancing. It was good. It was very good. It was definitely better than a normal concert per se.
Right.
I do think there should have been more wow moments, like before Super Bowl happened earlier that day.
Right.
He had let people know via social media that. He's like, I got a surprise for you guys tonight. And obviously that always means a surprise guest star. And so I started wildly predicting. And I was like, is he going to bring out Drake? Are they going to have a battle right in front of us?
Amazing. That would have been amazing. But no.
It was just Serena Williams.
Yeah. And okay, so let's get right into this, man. Typically with Super Bowl performances, it's the headliner and then the gumbo or jambalaya of on stage guests that come out. You're just like, oh, that Bruno Mars just jumped out of Katy Perry's
exactly.
It's crazy. There was never a moment like that for me personally during this, and that's something we need to address, and we're gonna have to put to bed, man. Listen, the song "They Not Like Us," right? They did everything. They had Samuel L. Jackson. It's a whole production commentary on America, the presidency, hip hop. It all happened in exactly, I don't know how long the performance was, but it just kind of fell flat. And that makes me worried that maybe we not like them. Because hear me out, right? The best part of the performance is when he finally broke out into "They Not Like Us" and he called Drake a bad word. Like I said in our work group text, called Drake a bad word in front of millions of people's grandparents.
Right.
In front of millions of conservative, pigskin loving heretics. You know what I'm saying? And that moment happened and he looked right into the camera and said it. And said probably a minor and held it. And then, that was probably the most significant moment of the entire performance. Otherwise than that, I'm going to say something controversial. This proves my point about Kendrick to me personally. Kendrick is an amazing talent. He's just not a timeless talent, in my opinion.
Yes. No, I feel you. I mean, I have some takes and which are also, people are going to hate on me for this one. I'm going to cancel for this, but is it at all possible that he is only considered the greatest rapper that is currently alive because there really aren't any great rappers alive right now?
Wait, bro. Welcome to the club, man. He's the best of a subpar generation.
Yeah. When you have Slim Pickens,
and
the one with just a little bit of mold is looking good.
Like that grape fell into the dog bowl, into the vomit, but the other ones are in poo. I guess I'm having that one.
Vomit it is.
I mean, the same thing can be said about, the precious J. Cole, man. But I thought the Super Bowl performance itself was just a missed opportunity, man. I was really looking forward to see if he was really going to bring Tyler, the Creator, out, man. I thought there was going to be more with him and SZA. I thought there was just going to be this explosive moment. But here's the thing, Mantis. Other people absolutely enjoyed it, which makes me wonder what's wrong with me. Why can't I just sit back and enjoy this thing like everyone
You're
else?
saying, why am I so anhedonic that I can't enjoy this? I have to criticize it, rip it apart, and just be the super smart guy compared to everyone else. Well, I'll
Yeah.
tell you, normally that is the case.
Right.
That's literally why I call you the curmudgeon.
Right.
Right? However, in this particular case, I think you are right. And so I've been watching people, particularly white people, who were really enthused about it.
Really enthused.
You know, there's two types of white people. People who thought it was the most brilliant thing they've ever seen in their life.
Right.
And then there are people who think that they're the grandmas you were discussing earlier, who think that this halftime show is destroying America.
Yes.
Right? And so, but when you watch the people who are shilling for it, try to explain why it's deep. Yeah, I'll tell you, it is not that deep, but they are going out of their way.
Right.
Yes, the American flag made up of black people. There's a message there.
Yeah.
Now, this isn't The Great Gatsby.
Right.
This isn't Crime and Punishment. It's not hard to see what this man is saying, but they're acting like it is the greatest art form ever.
Right.
Just making simple, when they fall down, they look like a swastika for a second, and like they do all these things like that. That was very impressive. It's not that deep, though.
And that, you know what? And maybe that's the thing, man. Maybe it's just not that deep because everything was right there in front of your face. You know what I'm saying? You're like, we're looking at it. That's a very valid point. You know what, man? You're a smart guy. You make some very valid points every once in a while. Here's the deal. You're right. It's not that deep, man. Everyone's breaking it down. I'm sending you a video of someone who broke it down, and maybe they went too deep with it. But essentially, I think the imagery was just kind of obvious, right?
Yes, it was. Yes, obvious is absolutely the word. You know, who hasn't criticized the American flag before? You know what I mean? Like, look how it beats down black people, America. Yes. You know, I would even dare and say that Childish Gambino's video, not the song, but his video was more intelligent than this performance.
You know what? I'm going to piggyback off that. That might have been the last really good critique in regards to America that we've seen in hip hop, mainstream hip hop in quite some while. While you queue up this video, because I want you to listen to this video, just at least 5 minutes of it. We can stop it, break it down with each other. I do want to ask you a question, though, man. In regards to this whole shenanigan, but let me just get the recording just right.
Well, I see Pink Princess and Rogue Radio and Dragon Lady are in the chat. So welcome, guys. Welcome
in. Starting a little late. That's my bad. We're back to our Shaolin Iceboxer says booty call hours. One of the coolest things I've ever heard anyone say about one of our streams. Is like, you guys go on and
booty call hour, and we're like 9:30. But yeah. I mean, when you're a working father, 9:30 is booty call hour.
It's not even when the debauchery begins. All right, so I want to know what you think about what FD Signifier, everyone's favorite political.
I actually love this dude.
I love him too, man. Hip hop commentator. I love disagreeing with him, but I love. This is gonna sound panderish. I love that he is so invested in his side of the table and the conversation around revolutionary antics and how that plays out. I just want to see how Mantis reacts to this, man. FD Signifier on Kendrick Lamar.
Before we started off, over in our chat, Princess Beck says, I liked it. My expectations weren't really that high to begin with, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm tired of the think pieces already. Yeah, already though. Absolutely. People are going way too crazy, super deep into it.
And that reminds me of a point your boy made here, man. All you fair weather super Kendrick fans who weren't with the Big Stepper album, right? But you guys jumped on this lowbrow song and they not like us, mustard. You know what I'm saying?
Which by the way, what's funny is they don't even understand fully even the phrase. Not like us. No. Because he's being racist against light skins.
He's not only being racist against light skins or some people might say he's only being prejudiced.
Okay.
But he's also taking a shot at people within the community who aren't light skinned. Anyone that doesn't fit whatever they not like us is, you know what I'm saying? You get put in that bubble too. Like, what do you mean you don't like Miracle Whip mayonnaise? They not like us. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so what I'm saying is this includes white kids from the suburbs who only on the weekend are hip hop fans.
Oh, like that sweet Georgia peach of a young white lady I sent you the video of who's rapping an entire, who's singing an entire. I don't know who it was, Drake or 21, some moronic wannabe rapper. The Mantis is like, this woman's clearly secretly racist, and I'm like, you know what? I can see her really holding on to a hard R.
Yeah, no, they are. That's the only reason that they take up rapping like that, so they can slip in some N-words when they can.
It's the only reason I listen to rap, so I can say N-words, and I say them.
This Kendrick halftime show.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, FD.
I baited a little bit with the title here. I am satisfied with what Kendrick gave us last night. I was worried going in. I was nervous for him because I know Kendrick is very much an artist. Excuse my kids yelling in the background. They're playing Tekken.
No,
they're playing Tekken 8. I'm very proud. So this was pretty much
there is no excuse when you're streaming. You got to put your kids to bed 2 hours early before you hit that live button, right, man?
It's actually funny, and I'm gonna not only agree with you, but I'm gonna be a real dick about this right now, because remember during the pandemic, there were all these professionals, quote unquote professional journalists, streamers, whatever, people doing things, and suddenly they have children running around, they have houses on fire, all these things. One lady from Britain, this journalist, she was in the middle of this thing, and she has a big old dildo in the background on her nightstand.
No,
and the people noticed, and they were like, they were trying to tell her to turn off her camera. It was crazy. But here's the thing: how many years have we been doing this?
Oh, I was like, how many times? I'm like, where are you going right now?
No, but you realize that all the responsibilities and things that we have, all the things that we juggle.
Yes,
both of us are men who crazy things are happening in our house, and yet we have never had anything like this happen.
Yeah, never had the camera go live with a 12-incher in the background. I just had to. It's crazy you say that too, man, because legacy media streaming on like platforms on their own without producers for the first time, struggling. But you know who did well with it? Your boy Al Roker. Al Roker is a very talented streamer. We'll get into that.
Wow.
Yeah, Al Roker, man.
But I'm seeing it now. Who's that guy who just walked out of CNN?
Chris Cuomo or
no he like literally the other day Acosta or something.
I didn't know. The little Greek who walked out.
Jim Acosta, I think is his name.
Jim Acosta,
and so then he made his own show, the Jim Acosta Show, and already he does not know how to use StreamYard. He's losing camera left and right, and they don't realize it's not easy.
No,
some level of skill.
No, you need. I mean, that's why man. Could you imagine having to use OBS? Right. I went to go help someone with their podcast setup the other day, and beautiful setup, nice computer screens, green room, but just like anything, their fantasy had been ruined. When I see that, it's just like it was just wild. But bro, this guy had like OBS up, and he's like, "You help me with this." And I'm looking at all the channels and all the inputs in OBS. I'm like, no, I'm like, I don't even know who set this up for you, bro. Get streaming. Get streaming. What are you doing, man?
And so these, Jim Acosta, he's like, he has a guest on. He accidentally cut the guy off. Like he kicked him off the stream by accident. He's like, oh, sorry. And then he tries to play a video, and he's like, well, that was supposed to play, but it didn't. Anyway, and I'm just like, you're supposedly a professional, and you can't even run StreamYard, something a 12-year-old runs.
Bro, StreamYard made it way too easy. But FD's he's got the wrong mic on, but it's all right, man. He's a political commentator, but he's gonna make some points, man. He's gonna make some points. So let's let him rock. I'm sorry.
Back on target.
That halftime performance that I wanted and expected from Kendrick, because what I didn't want to have to do is give Kendrick the same treatment we gave Beyonce when she did the Black Panther halftime show almost 10 years ago now.
Which wasn't bad.
Her really
Yeah,
since then. If we're fair, let's get the clear politics out the way. The NFL is a multinational evil corporation, one of the worst. Do millions of dollars worth of propaganda and support for the American military apparatus. He was brought in by Jay-Z. We all know the problems with Jay-Z. He would not be allowed to do much or say much as the halftime performer. And so what ends up happening is we get what Beyonce did, which is we're going to symbolically do something radical. What it ends up being is the co-option of that radical energy. I don't like that shit. I'm happy Kendrick didn't really do anything. There's a possibility that there's things about the halftime show that I don't fully get yet, and I'll be waiting for other people to deep dive into it to say, oh, this meant this, this meant that. I thought the Uncle Sam thing was cute. I think what we got at best was a meta commentary on what it means to be a Black celebrity performing this type of event, which was pretty cool. If you didn't catch it, the show basically had 3 acts. Act 1 was Kendrick trying to be himself, right? He starts out with that unreleased song. I think somebody said his name, Bodies. He says the revolution will be televised, which, you know, and we introduce Samuel Jackson. I think it's a very purpose of the line delivery. Sam gets up and says, hey, it's your uncle Sam. And it says it just like that. Yeah. And if there's one reach I'll make, I think that's a commentary on Snoop Dogg and Nelly and all of them. Because at the end of the day, they're performing for Donald Trump. You know, they didn't know that going into it. But
the litmus test yet again of what makes a good person or what qualifies someone to remain in the cookout or any other social gathering in their race. Did they vote for Donald Trump or did they perform at Donald Trump's secret banquet? But can we be honest about who performed there, man? It's Rick Ross, Snoop Dogg, and Nelly. Bunch of has-beens.
Yeah. And I think it's weird. You know what it is? It's so weird that Snoop Dogg. Weird. That Snoop Dogg is now considered. Everybody thinks they're down because they like Snoop Dogg. You know who likes Snoop Dogg? My grandmother likes Snoop Dogg. It is so out of touch to think that he's cool. He sold out a long time ago. Maybe young Snoop Dogg, you know, who used to take shots at people on the streets, and you know he's in trial for murder and stuff. You know, he has the balls to make Doggy Style, one of the greatest rap albums ever. But
amazing rap album.
Loose. He's not that loose guy anymore. Heck, weed is even legalized, so his whole shtick isn't even rebellious anymore.
No. It's actually sad. He's got long dreads. He's gone through that weird metamorphosis that most older rappers go through. He made the gospel album, right?
Oh, right. You gotta have that face.
Made the reggae album.
Oh,
he claimed to be some other artist reincarnated. He's did all the bells. But I don't know if I'm ready to dismiss Snoop as an Uncle Tom. But I wanted to ask you, what did you think about his little halftime commercial with Tom Brady about that? I hate that we have to make commercials about not loving each other. Did you see that commercial?
Yes, I did. It's just stupid and out of touch. It's an out of touch commercial, no matter who did it.
Right.
The fact that he's in it does not help. Like, I think it might have been better. It would have come off as more authentic if they had a younger, more hipper rapper. But whenever he's in something, I eye roll it. Like he's like doing the Puppy Bowl. He's freaking, you know, he's at pride parades, you know, and they're like featured by Citibank, you know, Dove Soap and Snoop Dogg, the performer. It's he's as corporate as possible, you know. You know, so I don't take anything he does seriously.
Right.
It's certainly not a statement to have him in something.
Yeah, he's not a threat. He's not a threat at all, man. But has he lost his black card because of his political? You know, apparently Trump got one of his homeboys out of doing prison time. Is that not a reason to support someone's candidacy? Come on, man.
You know, I love it that although this is racist, although this is straight up racist, I agree with the sentiment. And I love news started reporting that they were like, is it possible that Donald Trump is now looking favorable on blacks because he's a felon? which is the funniest take ever. That's hysterical.
It's one of those things you wish was never said out loud, right?
Yeah.
You just don't want it on the internet, man.
But here's the thing. We are currently in a phase, and people keep commenting on this. More and more people are taking the knee.
Yeah.
Bending the knee to Trump. People who used to wish death on him and all his people, his clan, whatever. The people who conspired to bankrupt him and put him in jail now want to do business with him. They want to kiss his ass. All these companies are getting rid of DEI on his say, not their say.
Right.
Will the black community eventually come around? Will they eventually bend the knee?
So here's the thing, right? And I don't know about bend the knee, right? But let me respond to that with this. Right? I was on Instagram minding my business the other day. I've long since retired from protecting the internet streets. I don't do the Batman on the internet, patrolling the streets, making sure equilibrium.
We're keeping it real.
The internet doesn't need me anymore, right? I go to sleep at a reasonable time now. But I was on the internet and I saw an interesting video where a man of Chicano heritage was saying, "Hey man," I'm not gonna do the accent, that's wild, but he was saying, "Hey man," he was like, talking about all the people being snatched up by ICE. He was like, "What I want to know is where are all the Black Lives Matter people?" And then it cuts to a black woman like, "We're at home minding our business, big homie. We voted 98% against this man." And I was like, this is a valid point. So though I don't agree with it, I think that what's happening is you're just going to see not a bending of the knee, but a bowing out. I think black people might have been really serious when they said, "Hey, we did our part," right? No, let me clarify what I'm saying when they say they did their part. If you think that Donald Trump is the existential threat of our generation, right? The beast from the book of Revelation itself, man. If they feel as if though they voted to keep this from happening, and that was the goal, they did that. I don't know what else can be expected. So no, I don't think there will be a mass bending of the knee. I think there will be a slower bending to, hey, we're just going to let the world go where it goes and, worry about our own vested interest. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does make sense. And here's the thing. I do believe that the entirety, it's funny. I'm always arguing for the fact that there are black and minority Trump supporters, but I'm not in a delusional state. I know that the vast majority are still against him.
Yeah.
And it's totally valid to say they did their part in trying to stop him. However, I don't think that's why they're staying home. And I think that this is something that keeps happening. And this is for gay activists, feminists, activists, whatever type of activism there is, maybe, people are being deported and all this stuff like that. For some reason, they think that blacks are part of their or they try to lump blacks in because blacks are good at civil rights, taking what's theirs. Right. And people try to jump on them and be like, "Hey, we're brothers in arms. We're brothers in arms." You are not. We are not brothers in arms with any of you people. Like, that is a delusion, right? And so some rich white woman's like, "I don't understand. We're staying woke together, right?" Shut up, bitch. And so it is so funny when they're like, "Why aren't you protesting in the streets?" Because Black Lives Matter, civil rights movement, everything that's been going on is our movement. We've earned it. We've shed blood we took our own freedom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing. For all these other groups that think we're going to liberate them, we're not liberating them. You need to figure out a way to liberate yourself.
Bro, Mantis dropping the fire. And that's what I'm saying, man. And the interesting part about it is, as Beck says, maybe if there was more gatekeeping around certain topics within the larger black diaspora and its political movements, we wouldn't be in this place. But again, if you're going to gatekeep, you got to gatekeep against everything. So it can't just be against black, white people getting cornrows and stuff like that. It's got to be against anyone that's trying to appropriate or take a part of the pie. I personally grew up in the school of New York where it's like proximity matters. So I've never had an issue with Latinos being lumped into the struggle or us being lumped into their struggle. Because I'm going to be honest with you, that's how it was growing up in New York, man. It's like, yeah, Puerto Ricans and Dominicans and blacks said some wildly racist things to each other when I was growing up, man. And there were a lot of fights. Some might even call them race riots in 8th grade schools, man. But we all knew what pot we were in, right? And there just seems to be more and more of that is lost. But now, in regards to Serena, what does this all have to do with Serena? Nothing yet, but we're gonna get there because I want her to be a main topic tonight, Roy, because I sent you a video where I think comedy was just accidentally way too truthful again. And I'm going to send you that video again so we can watch it here. But let's see what FD says. Go.
S.A. Johnson says, Eric Adams, how does he get out? Blago in Illinois getting pardoned when he was caught on a recording asking what he if he could get what he could get for Obama's Senate seat. That's interesting. There's a lot of stuff going on. That's almost a topic of its own. Everything going on with Eric Adams. I will just tell you like this: what Trump is really good at doing is assemble. What do they call them? For the Avengers, it's the Masters of Evil. For Superman, it's the Superman Revenge Squad. He just gets a team of people who like hate the Democrats and will join him. And so, if he's able to pardon Eric Adams and get him in his pocket, the mayor of New York, for while he's mayor of New York, he's going to get away with even more stuff.
What do you mean? He doesn't even need to pardon him. He
doesn't need to pardon him, but if he can get the prosecution drop.
Bro, I mean, what more do you have to do besides having the charges almost completely and entirely dropped out? You know what I'm saying? It's like your regional manager comes in, writes you up, and then somehow the actual boss of the company shows up. Is like
the CEO shows up, and
we're not doing any of that stuff. Who let this idiot write people up, man? And speaking of which, man, I'm going to be introducing a new segment in Mic Check. I'm really going to start crashing out, man. Folks, I'm going to be introducing a new segment. As Mantis has Burn Your Degree, I'm going to have Spit in Your Boss's Face Tuesdays, man, where I'll have to bring Mantis and other like-minded people up to completely, utterly just take advantage of the fact that if you work a poo job with people who are idiots, we got a segment for you.
Oh my god! I love that. Please, can I guest at some point?
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, the Eric Adams thing is wild, man. Now, again,
wait, were they completely dismissed already?
Bro, the charges were like thrown out.
I knew they were discussing it. I didn't know he pulled.
No, they were ordered to drop the charges. Let me make sure I get the most accurate information here. Let's see.
But you realize that means that Eric Adams will owe Trump a big one.
Federal prosecution in New York and Washington resign. Federal prosecutors in New York and Washington resign after refusing to drop Adams' charges. Yeah, the charges are dropped, brother. The top federal prosecutor in New York and two senior federal prosecutors in Washington resigned after they refused to follow the Justice Department's order to drop the corruption charges against New York Mayor Eric Adams. Multiple officials said on Thursday the resignations amount to a stunning public rebuke of Trump's administration's new Justice Department's leadership in one of the country's highest profile criminal cases. The prosecutors resigned after Emil Bove, the acting U.S. Deputy Attorney General, issued a memo Monday ordering federal prosecutors in New York to drop the case against Eric Adams.
I'll say this: Letitia James better hope that she buried the bodies deep,
right?
Because I bet you anything Trump is going to be like, "Bring me the head of Letitia James," and
bring me Letitia's soul.
and so basically he's going to have NYPD looking into her nonstop until they find something. I'm sure
he's fortifying and ratifying his new general in New York for the militarized police Trump department.
Yeah,
they're going to get issued new stormtrooper suits, just to make sure public safety can be enforced at maximum level.
Oh yeah, and also we can forget about sanctuary city levels. Eric's going to get rid of that.
Well, that's what they said. They said they need him to be freed up to do his job as mayor to deal with, crime and immigration. So, yeah, I don't know how the hell we got there but yeah, let's see what FD has to say.
That was the performance. You have Samuel Jackson's Uncle Sam. Samuel Jackson has a pretty radical background. For those who don't know, like Sam Jack is a was about that life in his youth before he got into acting. There's a story about him at Morehouse College and some other students taking over a campus building, but he was about that life. And so you see at the beginning, Kendrick is being a bit more aggressive, and you're like, oh, maybe we will get something that is provocative. Again, I want to be clear. I wasn't looking or desiring anything provocative from Kendrick here. I'm still refining. I'm developing new takes on like what I want from Black art.
Well, here's the thing. I think it's weird that he's hoping for some sort of radical message at the Super Bowl because one, they're never going to let an artist do that. And it's true, an artist could probably slide some stuff in, but they're never going to pick an artist that's going to do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Especially when you got Jay-Z leading the helm, and I'm not taking a shot at Jay-Z, and I don't have a hard time taking a shot at Jay-Z, but Jay-Z's trying to make sure that this is something that continues to happen, right? That he can continue to bring hip-hop and R&B artists to this level stage. I honestly think we put way too much emphasis on the Super Bowl performance, man. It dawned on me while I was watching it. I was like, this thing is always corny, man. It hasn't been like epic in years, man.
It's exactly like award shows. Like every year people watch them, and then they afterwards are like, the jokes were so corny, the host sucked, all that stuff. Hosts have never been good for the Academy Awards or like the Grammys and stuff. They're just stupid award shows.
Right.
You know, but I don't know why we put all this. You're right. It's like it's a big game. We're here to watch football. If there happens to be a good halftime show, that's great. But
it's completely stupid. But what he's going through, and what an amazing pause you did here, man, is he's saying that his expectation of Black artists is to be more prevalent in the movement and to actually be more consistent. I think he's actually going to articulate what it is. And sometimes, I don't know, just me personally, I don't expect artists to be on the front lines of anything. Like if they were revolutionaries, then they would not be these type of artists.
They wouldn't have a record deal if they were a real revolutionary.
No, not at all, man.
They're not working for Capitol Records, man.
It's a valid point.
Our political reality right now. But I do know I don't want half measures from Black artists anymore. Yeah. I don't want them to try to have their cake and eat it too and end up just doing something that's co-opted and counterinsurgent. I'm just over that. Sound mixing was ass. We'll get to that in a second. Yeah. So he has this first act. He starts out with the body song. The body song is as provocative as I think he got. And then Samuel Jackson tells him to calm down and play the hits. He calms down, plays the hits. We get Humble, DNA, both actually relatively aggressive tracks. We get this American flag motif. I've had a lot of people read that differently. I stand by the point I said earlier, which is not earlier, but like months ago when I talked about this, which is I'm not much for reclaiming the American flag. You know, I'm sure there's a logic behind it, but it falls flat for me. However, it is clear he was trying to say something there. What? I'm not sure. Again, I'll be waiting for other people to really break this down.
Or he just thought it was cool imagery.
All the different symbology. I do think it was purposeful that the American flag was made up of all Black men. There's something to that. That's not an accident that he got all Black men to make up this American flag. There's people saying, well, this is, speaking to how America is built off our backs, or, the relevance of Black men's voting patterns. I don't know. But it was something. I didn't quite get it. Whatever it was, I don't think it was meant to be very explicit or demonstrative in his messaging. I think he just wasn't allowed to do that. And, fine. Like, again, I wouldn't have wanted him to do much more than that because it's on the fucking Super Bowl. It's just, to me, it makes more sense to do something not so provocative on that stage because it immediately becomes co-opted. There's a great video. I think Broy Deschanel made it. And I also
that was an amazing take right there. I thought that was we don't even have to go any further than that. That's what I was waiting for, to hear your thoughts. It doesn't even matter to do something like that on the Super Bowl because it can be co-opted, man. Like,
yes, oh my god, that is well said.
I'm like, how revolutionary could it possibly be if it's happening on the Super Bowl this late in the game at this stage in the political conversation? What are your thoughts, big guy?
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. It will be co-opted. It will be, as soon as you bring as soon as you're bringing something to mainstream media or something, like the Super Bowl, regular cable TV, it's going to be co-opted and twisted, and the next thing you know, a corporation is going to be sponsoring it.
Yep.
You know, or something like that. It's gonna be it's all messed up. But do you remember Sinead O'Connor?
I do remember Sinead O'Connor. I believe she had a brief sling with Arsenio Hall. Did you know that?
I did know that. But you know when she ruined her career, was when she was supposed to do a monologue on Saturday Night Live because she was a guest. And instead, she pulls out a picture of the Pope, and they definitely didn't know this was happening. She's like, "They're child molesters. Look at these animals," and she tears it up. And nowadays, I think people would laugh at that, but this was the '80s, and so it ruined her career. She never worked again. So even if you do try to make a powerful message, they're gonna get you.
Bro, look what they banished Janet Jackson to the third realm for like a decade or something, didn't they? After the Justin Timberlake situation, man.
Yeah,
and that was just
a nip slip. A nip slip.
Imagine if you start making real critiques of the country in front of this on the Super Bowl. That's it, man.
You know, so
I've
never seen this before.
What have you never seen?
Because it's supposed to look at the weird configuration.
Oh, it says Fat Mantis, Fat Mantis. Are we still?
It'll figure it out. Sorry, guys, little technical difficulties with this.
Who looks crazy? It's us.
It's with this budget software I use.
Before
Serena.
Wait, before we get Serena, let me just clip that because I want to make sure I hit the record button, right? Also, I just want to talk to you about that AI program that you put me onto, the clip thing. Opus Clips, man. That thing is pretty amazing, man. Cut my workload right in half, bro.
Right. Well, you know that's for off camera stuff.
No, it's never for off. Don't tell me how to live my life, bro. All right. I make the decisions I want to make when I want to make them.
Okay, Steve. Okay, guys, he just woke up from a nap.
So Serena Williams, man. Serena,
why'd you do it? What
do you think? Okay, so the second Drake performance, let's get to the meat of it. The They Not Like Us section. This is what everyone if he was actually going to perform the song, he did perform it, right? How do you feel about him calling Drake the P word on national TV, looking directly into the camera?
Well, there's so many things to worry about. Well, one, a lot of people are saying sewage, right? You're gonna get sued. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. The reason why a lot of musicians and the music industry feels confident in doing stuff like this is because there's a long history of them being protected, it being protective creative speech, right? That's why you can usually talk about murders and do all sorts of stuff on the music, right?
Right.
And so I doubt that Drake is going to be the first guy to break that. You know, so I'm not really, I don't think the most problematic thing about it is that, you know, legally he called this guy a pedophile and can't prove it. Right. I do think it's tacky. Like that is just low. Like, here's what I'm saying. You know, if you guys are feeling low and sad and alone and pathetic, or that you're lost, call somebody, get some help.
Yes, absolutely.
But honestly, Drake should have killed himself. Because honestly, imagine the Super Bowl. There's someone who looks into the camera and is singing about you being a pedophile.
Bruh. I was talking to one of our former employers, Joey from the streets, right? And he seems to think that the reason this is happening to Drake is some evil cabal-like situation going on in the music industry, that Drake was about to re-up on his contract and ask for millions and like higher than any rapper's ever been paid for their own music and writing a stake in the company. And that the company then said, no, right? No one gets a stake in this. You get what you get. And that's all you get. Now keep saying the N-word and get out there and dance, boy. And when Drake, didn't want to do that, that's when they let all this stuff slip through. I mean, that's a conversation for another time. But he did call him the P word. and then nationally called into question what remained of his black card. Now, I don't believe that you can actually take someone's black card. That's something you have to give up, right? But I would never have thought that I would have seen Brian Gumble get to retain his black card, and Drake, who you fools invite
Brian Gumble.
You fools love Drake, man. All it takes is one more hit. He's gonna be right back in there like swimwear, man. Y'all love Drake. This man was winning for a full decade. I couldn't say nothing bad about this fool without people getting offended.
Right.
And because, well, you know my stance on this, but now I think it's officially over. Drake tried to say something crazy about Joe Budden the other day, and Joe Budden was like, "I don't respond to corpses," and I'm like, whoa.
You know, here's what it is. Sometimes you get in a street fight and you win, and sometimes you get into street fights and you'll lose, and you take one and you're good, and then sometimes you get into street fights and you get utterly destroyed.
Right.
And you get humiliated. It's not that you took a punch and you fell down. It's you are mollywopped and the person's beating on you. Humiliation.
Right.
And this isn't a conspiracy. This is just what has happened to Drake.
Absolutely.
He picked the fight with the wrong person, and that person destroyed him.
Yeah, it's if we're gonna take it to street fighting stuff, it's as if Kendrick not only beat him up on the block, but then everyone on the block took Kendrick to get ghetto Chinese food, bought him a 40-ounce, bought him a pair of kicks on 125th Street, and then he got the hottest hood rat in the entire neighborhood afterwards, and they named the block after him. After he beat you down in front of everyone. Right? and then on top of that, just when you think you can't lose anymore, just when you think things can't get any worse, that one ex-girlfriend that, you know, in retrospect, you're like, I don't want to compete with her pear-shaped man. She's not really that hot. That you dissed publicly comes out and Crips walks on your grave. Dance in the video.
Oh my goodness, man. And you know, that's what I'm saying. The humiliation never stops. It's like, you know, two of his ex-girlfriends are out there hanging with Kendrick, laughing it up that he's a pedophile.
Right.
Like I said, I don't know how Drake wakes up in the morning, right? Like,
but there's two people still defending him. His other girlfriend, academics. I said it.
But what is the defense? What kind of defense can someone have?
We'll get there. But let's start with the Serena Williams thing. So what do you think? You know, did you know that Serena Williams had a sister that was murdered allegedly by the Crips?
I do know that. I do know, and I did realize the significance of her Crip walk.
Oh, yeah.
And at first, I thought she was making some sort of statement. I was like, what's she going to do next? I thought she was going to make a statement afterwards or something, but it didn't go anywhere.
No.
She was just dancing. She was just doing it. And I was like, okay. You know, like I said, I thought it would have some hidden meaning, right? There's no hidden meaning. She either doesn't know or she doesn't care. Right, Mazel?
Mazel tov. Bro, is the streaming software working? Because I want to see how people react to this. It's an Instagram video. I'm warning you right now. So, you know, this is going to be you looking like an old man right now. You just click on it and enjoy it. You see the look on his face. He's like, Instagram.
Oh, it's Instagram. No.
I only roll with Facebook clips. Wait, does Facebook, what do they have? Clips or what do they call Facebook Shorts?
No, Shorts. YouTube is Shorts. Look at us both look like old men.
Who's still on Facebook, man? Remember when Facebook had Facebook TV and they had that stupid show with that one bald-headed dude that's married to Will Smith?
Yes, I do remember that. I think we reminisce about that all the time because we miss it.
What, Facebook TV? I don't miss that. I miss
I miss table talks, man.
No, I miss browsing Facebook TV. Like, man, some of the gospel shows that were on there were absolutely amazing. Yeah, look at this fine human being right here, man. Make sure you got the audio ready. You got to get all this done in one shot because this is absolutely amazing.
I wish I could okay.
No.
The girl Serena, way to go on live television and celebrate the exact
gang that murdered your sister. The Crip Walk, baby. One for the culture. Yeah. Arena, way to go on television and celebrate the exact gang that murdered your sister. The Crip Walk, baby. One for the culture.
It was worth watching twice. So what does it mean? Has she made a statement? Has anyone called her on this? What is happening?
There's no statement, man, because sometimes things aren't even art, man. They're just things that happen, right? And this was just a moment for her to be a part. Let's be real. It was just a moment for her to be a part of something big that was going on. I don't know the inner workings of her family, man. But then again, there was not a big hoopla from their family when Will Smith stole the moment of their dad being celebrated when he smacked Chris Rock, right? They were still crying, like, way to go, Will. So I don't know.
I'm saying, out of every dance, is that the only dance she knows? And why is it the only dance she knows? Like, out of any dance when she got up there, do you think she's ignorant?
No, she from Compton. She from Compton, man. And I think if any deeper conversation is being had right now, is that you could have something tragic happen to you, be from that area, and still rep that area, right? How many people do we know that also grew up in the hood that loved their neighborhood but had a family member die under the stop snitching culture, no snitching culture, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
it's like, you know
what you mean. And then they continue that culture.
Yeah, and it's
absolutely. Lesson was not learned. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't even know what to make of it. Basically,
I don't know either, man. Does anyone want to join in? Like, should Serena care? Is it like taking back the N-word? You know what I'm saying? Like, she took back the Crip Walk dance. Maybe she is aware of it, and she's like, I will take the power out of this. Doesn't matter if this gang killed my sibling. It was also a half sibling. Not that should count for anything. I just want to throw that out there for context.
Right.
So Beck says she basically said that it was about her doing the Crip Walk at Wimbledon.
But why does she do it at all?
She ain't a Crip. That's the wild part, bro. That's the wild part.
Dumbass,
Yo, you can commercialize anything. Yo, let's take this dance that is only for gangbangers to do. Now we got everyone doing it.
Oh, they penalized her for it. Yeah, I mean, excessive celebration or something like that, right?
Wait, Bex, what do you think about her doing the dance that the alleged murderers of her family member that represents? What do you think about that? Like, has she made any comments on that? Maybe she doesn't have to either. She doesn't owe us an explanation. It is an odd thing, right? It's odd. That's all I'm gonna say, bro. It's odd, right? It's weird.
It's weird. I don't even have words for it. I can't even theorize. I don't even know why she would do something like that. I don't know. That's what she said. Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, still.
The crazy part is that people were giving her, I mean, not like any people from the community or whatever that means nowadays, but some of the memes have been absolutely fire. Like, there was the one, obviously, where she's dancing to, they not like us, sea walking for the culture, as it were. And then they show a picture of her with a white husband who's shaped like a pear at the beach. And I'm like
her what is it? Her umbrella guy?
Yeah. The guy that used to own Reddit, is that his name, man? Yeah. That's that's his contribution. He stepped down from the company in solidarity with Black people, right? Did you know that?
What?
Stepped away from the company to be in solidarity with Black people, bro.
What does that have to do with Black people?
Well, it was during the George Floyd murder.
You can still go. You can still have a job. And then, you know what I mean? Like, basically, all these leftists always looking for an excuse not to work,
right? And then blame it on Black people,
right? So like the Black lives matter. That's what I was doing. I wasn't goofing off.
I can't go to work today.
I can't go to work today. There's protests. There's protesting to be done. They mean burning down a police precinct, but I shouldn't have gone there. Shots are fired. Shots have been fired.
It's crazy. So, I mean, like I said before, there is one person still defending Drizzy Drake, man, and it's your boy Academics, man. And the video Do you want me to stop the recording now and start back up, or you just want to let this be one long clip? Because the video is...
Let's start it out. Let's start it out a new one.
Oh, hold on for a second. Entertain the folks while I get this ready.
And so our girl Bex is saying, why you're talking about that nice white man like that? He's a fool. He's a chump.
And it's not pronounced white. It's white, man.
That nice white man.
White cake.
I don't see color. I do not see color. But that cracker is such a beta for her. It's funny. I mean, here's what I'm saying. She's a powerful woman. I get it. It's not likely she's gonna find a man that's powerful as well. So she's gonna get someone who's like,
what are you talking about? She's dated Common, she's dated Drake. Both of those dudes.
You are proving my point right now.
Oh, I thought we were just talking about economically, right?
No, obviously the guy who owns Reddit is going to be rich, but I'm saying they have money, but they're betas.
Beta.
Yeah.
All right.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to be honest. I really don't know much about Common, so I don't know. Maybe he's not a beta.
Common's not a beta, man. He's just, he's the bane of some black women want to protest Common. They're like, stop falling for him. He's just not ever going to marry you. Common's run through the sisters, man. And he's never going to leave him alone. Like, you're a successful sister of a certain age, Common's coming for you. He's coming.
At least she's dating and smashing sisters.
Yeah.
As opposed to other successful black men who don't even touch them.
Right.
He deserves an award.
And they're women of a certain age too, man. These are like women in their 40s and 50s or, late 30s. Common, if you're successful in black, Common's coming for you. He's coming for you. No one gets out alive. All right, so I sent you a video, man. DJ Academics, who's dealing with his own controversies, had time to come out and provide a critique of the peripheral.
Wait, where is it?
It's in Discord. It's directly under the Serena Williams one. He had time to come out and defend Drake. It's literally the video with Kendrick.
Okay.
Yeah. And don't worry, man. See, this one is not an IG link. This is like a video, so you can just share.
Yeah. Okay, that was what was confusing me.
Yeah, you were scared.
What are you trying to get me to do here, buddy?
Not another IG video.
No, but
I want to ask you, man. Has it been long enough since since the allegations got Academics, weak as they were, came out? Has it been long enough for him to publicly defend anyone? Do you think social capital, is it okay for him to stick up for anyone right now, considering, the lumps he's taken?
Be more specific.
Well, you know what I'm talking about, the whole thing with him and, allegedly being a groomer, but it just turns out he was just he was saying to a young dude some weird stuff that usually older dudes say to young dudes,
Right.
If you're a guy, you know exactly what we're talking about. Don't try to act brand new. You've had.
I'm certainly not defending. I know exactly what you're saying, but here's what it is. The trick, not the trick, but the only way to not get canceled is don't let yourself be canceled. So I wouldn't hide if people are like, Mantis is a pedo, I'm still going to go to work the next day.
It's true if you don't show up to work, because when you listen to the video in context, I was thinking that something way worse. Now, again, I'm not defending anything, but I was like, what did he do? And then I was like, oh, this is just him being old, like an old dude, man, and saying old dude stuff that's only meant really for the barbershop. You're not some of this stuff has to stay off the internet, man, especially when you're gonna be drinking Henny and saying wild shit, man. It's part of it. Cursed, man. I lost one. All right, so here's the video. Let's see what poor Ack has to say. Oh, no audio. You bastard. Wait, can you hear it? We can't hear it.
Wait, you can't hear it?
No, we can't hear it. But it's okay. Just the fact that you look like you were enjoying it so much was amazing.
Oh, brother. Okay, wait, hold on.
If you can't get it, I'll share it from my screen. Don't worry.
No, I got it.
Meanwhile, have you folks considered donating to the show lately? $1 a month.
Why is it on the small screen?
That's good. That's perfect. You know,
Serenity now. Okay. Okay, let's do this.
You anti-Drake grifters, woke mob, and woke idiots, especially over at Twitter, stop telling me what I missed with this performance. Nigga, this ain't a puzzle. This ain't no mystery room. If I missed it, it was trash. It's a performance. The performance is for you to show me, not hide it from me. What are we talking? Yo, it went over y'all head. Did y'all catch this part of it? Oh my God. No, nigga. You anti-Drake grift.
So he said anti-Drake grifter.
Yeah.
So what is he implying? Is he like he thinks the community should be on Drake's side?
No. He thinks some things that I think, but I would never say they're anti-Drake. He just thinks that some people are fair weather, right? He thinks that people are jumping on the Kendrick bandwagon, right? Let me put it plainly, Mantis. Kendrick is not a civil rights figure, right? And his success in defeating Drake in rap does not in any way, shape represent any significant movement in blackness. Now, there are some people who would entirely disagree with me. Most of them are from the West Coast, but there are others amongst us who are hoisting this moment up as if something has changed in the climate. And I'm telling you, I've had a few arguments where I'm like, yo, it's Kendrick Lamar, son. He ain't never done nothing for you. He ain't never, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is, man. It's Bex with the hand claps. I can't stand this MFer. What? Why? Who? DJ Academics? What did he do?
Yeah, that's what she was talking about. Before she said that, she said I can't say that. I cannot say that on the show. She's trying to get us in trouble. Oh, she says, "Nah, Common is definitely an effing beta." Okay,
yeah,
she's riled up right now.
Bex hates Common, man. She thinks that Common is stealing years from black women, and I'm just like, he's not stealing nothing they ain't giving him. Like,
well, so I made a joke earlier. Let's talk about that joke then. So, the fact that he at least is sleeping with black women, and I'm saying there are some successful brothers. As soon as they have money in their pocket, they will not touch a sister.
Or it's the commentary from your favorite show, Atlanta, where they had the white girl that started from the bottom, and now they there with him, and some of y'all weren't checking for that bull when he was running around like Naruto in the backyard before he was famous. You know what I'm saying? So.
And so he shouldn't get some credit. That's all I'm saying. Like,
I know you probably want to reword that.
Yeah. So do you remember in the 90s, like early in his show, Montel Williams was like the hero.
He slayed your girl Kamala. He slayed your girl Kamala.
Yo, I'm saying all the black women wanted him. He was the knight in shining armor. And when he married, I remember this. When he married a white chick, even my own mother was angry with him.
He's half white. Why was everyone upset?
I think in their mind it's some sort of fantasy. That's what it is. They fantasize about who he is because he's, all these talk show hosts play a righteous person on TV, right? Yeah, the object is they have scum on their show and they're righteous and they're supposed to talk down to you, right? So they become this hero.
Good formula.
yeah. And so I think for a while there, people really thought Montel was a hero.
Yeah.
And then when he married a white woman,
yeah,
black women everywhere collectively lost their minds.
You know what's crazy about Montel Williams? He was always dressed like a dope dealer from a 90s villain, 90s hood movie, right? Montel.
It was the 90s, man.
He was always dressed like a dope dealer. Bex said credit for what? She wants to know why you think Common should get credit for sleeping with black women.
Here's what I'm saying. He's dating and sleeping with black women, right?
Yes, he is. That is
good for him. Yeah, no, that's credit. I give him credit. I give him a gold star. Bex. Because I'm just telling you, the mark of success in this country is you find yourself a white woman.
what Mantis is saying is traditionally what has happened in the public sphere. Fools make it and they forget they forget that there are even women of color in the world.
Right. And so they become what's his face? I always love bringing him up. OJ. Right. I'm not black, I'm OJ.
Oh,
right. They all think that they're somehow or not, they bought their way out of being black.
Yeah. Is OJ dead? I can't remember. Is Orenthal dead?
Did he die?
He's in hell for sure. If he did, I'm sorry.
Here's what it is. I'm a bad OJ fan. If I don't know this, you're not sure. You know what it is? You know what's funny? The other day, somebody said Betty White was dead, and they said, "What are you talking about? She's not dead." And like, she's been dead for years.
Yeah, she's dead.
No idea.
Yeah, completely.
These old people be dying. You don't even notice.
Bro, God rest their soul.
God rest both of their souls.
Both their souls. Betty White was a bit of a hot girl. Did you know that?
I assumed.
She's one of those old burlesque chicks that used to come out and do this type. Not she didn't literally, but yeah, she's go look it up for yourself. So what you're saying is that it's not that he should get credit for sleeping with black women. We should acknowledge that he dates within his race.
Yes, there we go. And yes, OJ died last April. Okay. just looked it up.
He's dead. Yeah. But back to DJ Academics defending Drake. Well, not really defending Drake, but making the critique of the performance like it should not be a hidden thing. I'm not coming here for symbolism or anything like that. The performance is either good or it's not. So what do you think about that point? I'm gonna tell you what I think. Before
here's what. So what I thought he was referring to was the hidden messaging in it.
That's what he's talking about. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, and I do agree. I do agree with him on a certain level. If you're in your art, it's too hidden.
Yeah,
and it goes over people's heads.
Yeah,
you done fucked up. Right. And so you need to make it a little more blatant. And so if he was trying to be, if he had a deeper message and because it was the Super Bowl, he just couldn't, he was like, I need to conceal it.
Right.
Maybe if I dress these black men up like a flag, no one will think anything. Right. Like I said, I don't think it was a particularly deep one. So although I hate to agree with DJ Academics,
yeah,
I am agreeing with him. Now, I don't know why he's being so extra in the video.
It's like the energy is amazing. You know what's crazy, man? Now that we're talking about it, I do think there was a theme to the video. The theme was making everyone think that it was a cultural statement, and then it just went right into some hood shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it literally went right into like they not like us. Yo, can you tell me why he smiled into the camera before he said a minor and like looked at him?
Well, because he's taunting him. It's just Bex is out.
Bex, did Bex leave?
She said, "Child, bye." Okay.
I think that's a colloquialism. I don't think she actually
just because I'm defending Common. Okay. But I'm saying he obviously he revels in this. To be honest, I really wished at the Grammys he had thanked Aubrey. Should have been like, he's like, if I were him, I would have said, I'm thanking Aubrey because if it wasn't for him, if it wasn't for little Jimmy in the wheelchair, I wouldn't be able to make this.
Bex is saying that Academics is being extra because Drake is his beta messiah.
Yes, there is like a thing. The betas gravitate toward each other. So here's what I'm saying.
No. I'm not gonna let y'all do this, man. I'm not gonna let y'all remix history. Your boy's got to plant his flag. I've been saying this fool has been trash forever, but it wasn't because he was a beta driver. Man, blacks love Drake. Less than 2 years ago, man. Not only was he at the cookout, he was the MC of the cookout. Y'all couldn't stop singing this fool's song, man. Drake is like Kool-Aid. He's like Kool-Aid. Let me explain to you why he's like Kool-Aid. He will be remembered as that picture you took with a jug of Kool-Aid as a 13-year-old, and now it's made its rounds around the office, and you're like, damn. Who the hell took this picture out? Me holding Kool-Aid, eating watermelon. That's what Drake is for the black community, man. Y'all made that monster. I'm not talking we. I didn't make him. I listened to one Drake song, man, because that shit was hilarious. I got to stop cursing, man, because it was hilarious that I'm Too Sexy. I'm like, this is hilarious. That might be the best thing he's ever done, intentionally being funny, man. Black people, y'all made Drake. You were hand in hand with the whites on this one. Y'all worked in cahoots to make this fool a millionaire, man.
Bex just took a swipe at you. She said him smiling into the camera was peak petty Gemini behavior.
Well, hey, man, sometimes some stuff's got to happen. You got to do what you got to vanquish an enemy. Make sure he stays dead as well.
Because here's what it is. If he laid off, no one would respect him if he started to lay off of him. So he has to. Every time he sings that song, he's got to make it insulting. He's got to make him feel it.
Oh yeah.
And he can't even pretend to back off, even if he wanted to.
Did we talk about Irv Gotti dying? We talked about that, right? Last week, show?
No, we didn't.
R.I.P. Irv Gotti.
Yeah.
I thought we talked about this. Have we not done a show since last? No.
No. We mentioned it. I don't think we ever did any in-depth thing. I don't think. Is there anything in-depth to talk about his death?
No, he passed away. I was gonna say. Never mind.
Oh yeah, he passed away. We talked about how 50 mocked him.
I'm not laughing at that.
Yeah, we talked about how 50 mocked him.
Yeah, and that's the point. That's where I'm going with this 50. You know.
Right, he would have appeared weak if he didn't after all the beef they've had for all these years.
I don't even think it was like he would have appeared weak, but it's going to be the same thing with Drake and Kendrick, right? If we find out Drake becomes like a Jabberwocky dancer at a Vegas residency, Kendrick has to buy the first 25 seats at the residency just to mess with Drake, man.
Oh, look at her! She says, I'm not a part of y'all's conversation.
Oh, Bex? What's going on, Bex? She all right?
She says, old men.
Old men things.
Talking about Irv Gotti, I think is that makes us old. Whatever.
No, because we don't remember we talked about it. But we're making a larger making a larger point here, man. I agree with you. At this point, Kendrick's just got to keep stepping on him, right? He can't let up. It's because what's going to happen? It's not like, this is not a Biggie Pac situation. You know what I'm saying? Drake's not, who's going to have shooters come down from the great north? You know what I'm saying? Some White Walkers come get at Kendrick. Kendrick's too short to get shot.
Here's what would make 2025.
What?
And if this happens, I'm like a prophet or something. I don't know what I am, but
you're a prophet.
If Drake gets caught trying to hire assassins off of the dark web to take Kendrick out, he's a moron, so he's going to mess that up. Because he doesn't have real street cred, so he's going to have to go to strangers on the internet.
No, I got it for you. You're going to love this, man. He's going to have to find one of his former co-stars from Degrassi that has some type of substance abuse issue. And that's
a lot of them.
And it becomes like a Hulu special that's got like TV drama written all over it right there. Drake corrupts some failed actor that he knows, but hey man, you want to be back on top, and the next shot is of Drake giving him a 380. Take him out for me.
Yeah, oh my god, that is absolutely perfect. Because if you saw, remember he had a video where he had a Degrassi reunion. Oh. And the guy who played his best friend, the character's name is Spinner. He's this white kid, and now that he's older, he hasn't worked in years as an actor, and he has a pot belly and he's balding. So it's him.
He's the shooter. Wait, let me get this straight. His name is Spinner, and Drake, when he was in the wheelchair, his name wasn't Spinner. That was a missed opportunity.
Oh, that's funny. But that's perfect. He's gonna get one of those losers to do it. Here's what it is. I'm not gonna apologize or rewrite history about me liking Drake, but I liked Drake for what he was, a pop star who makes catchy tunes. You know what I'm saying? The best I ever had was an amazing song. Who doesn't love that song? I bet you liked that song when it was out.
Did he make that song?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I've purposely, ever since I seen him in the Sprite commercial, I'm not messing with this dude.
Yeah, she says Drake will be back making summer bops. That's the perfect way to phrase it, a summer bop, right?
Yeah.
And people will forget, but I will never forget. The North remembers, she says. Wow, that's good. I don't know if he can.
I hope the North remembers that they followed a woman into action to kill an ally that brought 3 nuclear weapons to defend their tiny little territory that deserved to be taken over. There's no family that's failed more at anything in any saga than the Starks. Right?
There are 50 million mistakes about the last season of Game of Thrones. It could go. List goes on. Like for instance, when he figures out he's a Targaryen, he blatantly says it. But the whole point is like the Northerners would never follow a Targaryen, so why would they trust
Bro?
Jon Snow? It doesn't make any sense.
It gets even worse than that, man. The breastfeeding child army, right? Yeah, that storyline went nowhere.
Right. There's a bunch of things that didn't make any sense.
But here's one that will never make sense, right? You build this entire armada to bring over fight the war of wars. You lose your ship to some weirdo with this useless storyline about 3 lesbians that come from a kissing country and they all get murdered, right? And then you send your entire cavalry against the dead army. Like if this was if this was a role playing game, if we were playing a D&D, and that's a move that a certain person we know would make in D&D. They're like we're a cooperative, and then he rolls, and you look him in the eyes like, "Don't do it, please, don't do it."
You lose your ship, bro.
Send the entire cavalry into the woods, bro. We don't know what's coming out the woods. I said send.
Yeah, but honestly, we have gone on a crazy rant right now. We're off track.
It's always good to talk about how bad Game of Thrones got. Are you gonna pick up with House of Dragon, man? You're not going back. I can tell you're not going back.
No, okay. So I only have like 1 season left in me. This better be a good season. They better redeem for season 2 or we're out. But trust me, season 2 really pissed me off. Like it was how do you make Game of Thrones boring? There's like all this weird sex and there's dragons and there's medieval murders and people getting heads cut off, and so how do you make that boring?
Here's what we need to talk about. It's trailer time here.
Trailer time.
Modeling School. Do you watch the Wheel of Time, Mantis?
I do not.
It's my guilty pleasure. There's nothing good about it. Like it's good, but I recognize that this is a chick show for sure, right? It's got all the narratives in it. It's woke as woke can get, right? Everything's DEI inclusive, right?
You're really selling this one
in the best way possible. And man, I've enjoyed it, man. It is like watching Buffy and Angel all over again. That's how cheesy but amazing it is to me, man. You need to watch it. The new trailer just dropped for season 3, and bro, they spent the piggy bank on this one. Usually they hold back the money for the last 2 episodes of the season. This trailer's amazing.
Yeah, and so I'll tell you this, just because something's woke doesn't mean it can ruin your experience. I'll give you an example. I think I've been going on and on about the new Spider-Man show.
Right.
Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which is an amazing cartoon.
Right.
Yo, that shit is woke as fuck. Like, they turned the lizard, Dr. Connors, is a Puerto Rican woman. They kept flipping all, like everyone. It's not just Norman Osborn and Harry Osborn are black, but they don't stop there. They're going all over all these race swaps, all these things. Watching that show, you would think that they're in the Middle East with a number of Arabs and like Middle Eastern people, but it is Disney being woke. Still, it's an amazing show,
and people love it. Can I just say something, man? I'm against race swapping characters. I'm on record saying it. I'll never backtrack, but this one time, I'm gonna have to be inconsistent, man. I've always thought those 2 characters were black, and you know exactly who I'm talking about.
Yes, Norman Osborn and his hair, his waves.
Yeah.
No, you're all right. I've never seen a fully white person have waves. How did they do that with their hair? How is that possible?
If you ever see a white guy with a finger wave, which is what that hairdo is called, look it up. Yeah. If you ever see a white guy with a finger wave, that is definitely the 7th seal being broken, and the Antichrist is on his way right afterwards.
Right, and so it's weird that they drew him like that back in the day, which is why I think I told you I always thought that he was like one of those guys who was just really light skinned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It didn't translate in the comic, but that's what Stan Lee had always envisioned.
Well, Stan Lee was down with the brown, man. Beck says, first of all, Spinner still looks good.
You know what? You're the lady. You're in charge of that field. I trust you on that one. If you say so. Yeah, one of the best one of the best birthday presents I ever got was what is it called? Cameo. You know the service Cameo?
Yeah.
Where a washed up actor or actress, you get to pay them and they'll make a little video for you. My sister had the girl who played Emma do a happy birthday message for me.
Oh,
in my adulthood.
What is she from? This girl who used to
She's a Degrassi girl.
Oh, that's horrible.
But now she's older, and so it was funny. It was funny.
Was she like doing a dance for you and stuff? Never mind.
No, she wished me happy birthday. It was awkward because she said my age in the birthday message, and I was like, "You told her my age?" so it must be weird that she's like, "I'm making a birthday message for some old guy."
Make sure she says it again, but this time hold the R.
But anyway, let's see what this woke what did you call it? It was woke feminist nonsense. Let's see what
all of it.
It has everything wrong with it. Let's see what it's got for us.
The world is changing.
Got magic.
A tide sweeping us along against our
Lesbian lasers.
We cannot stand behind these walls and pretend we still have control.
Ugly lesbians.
This tower is destroying itself from the inside out.
Well, there's a lot of magic.
It does not bend the knee to Randall's wall.
First season, there was like almost no magic.
It's got orcs, black werewolves.
They won't just come for Red.
Asians.
They'll come for all of us.
We're going to the last place anyone would ever look for me.
That guy?
What is that thing?
He's like, I don't know what he is. Like a goat man.
Our people have been waiting for the Karakarn's arrival.
Now, I actually like these picks. They're pretty cool. The desert fighters.
Each step forward is a step backwards through time.
Do you love her?
What did you see in the rings?
It's almost like a
every future where I lived. Rand dies. And the only way he lives is if I don't. We don't win battles with politics and prophecies. We win with armies.
Get ready! Archers! Loose!
Make
we're
them
all
believe
magic.
in you, and they will follow you to the ends of the earth.
There's nothing but black women with magic powers. I'm telling you, it's everything that every.
to do.
But still, there's a hetero white man leading the way. So it's got something for everyone. If you're into that.
Yo, so check this out. I watched the original first 3 episodes of this show, and there was no magic in it. There was hints that there was a magic existed somewhere.
You're a hater. There was magic.
It wasn't until they finally had magic. They went to some abandoned city that was in the dark, and there was magic stuff started happening, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to titillate the mantis. Okay, but this looks incredible.
Yeah, right. It looks really good to see.
Looks like an endless thrill ride. Max was like, "Are there any black women with magical powers in the show?" Let's start there.
If there are any black women with magical powers, Bex, Common's on his way there.
Yeah, Common's gonna clean house. That's the season finale. There you go. D in the house. She says, "I'm late. What I missed? You missed everything, girl. You missed a riveting cutthroat analysis of Kendrick Lamar's halftime show. All the politics, all the silliness. Bex got crazy." Wonderful. And I'm not kidding. He's snickering. It sounds like I'm kidding, but that's literally what you missed.
Oh, bad.
Okay, Bex, you're gonna stop saying that.
What she said?
You said old man shenanigans.
Oh, let her have that's her one joke.
That's her one joke on us.
She's got that one.
And I'm like 6 months older than her. So since we've had such a racially charged episode,
yes,
there's another thing, because I haven't actually watched this video, but it was one of our top topics earlier in the week. And that was when the former writer and showrunner of X-Men 97 made some sort of video.
No, I sent that for this week, and
I know, but I'm just saying, I don't know if you've seen it. I didn't see the video.
I waited to watch it with you, bud.
Now the problem is it is a half an hour.
Oh,
obviously we're not going to watch the whole thing here, but I think we should start.
That's weird. Yes, let me just queue up the next recording track. Say hello to Pokey. Pokey just came in.
Okay, what up, man? You know why everyone's late? Everyone in our chat was getting laid.
That's what I'm talking about.
I smell sex in the air, and it's because of Valentine's Day. You're all out there.
Right.
You're having dinner with somebody who loves you.
Oh, love is in
or is just there for the physical stuff.
Right. They're gonna. Well, see, that's what I'm talking about, man. Is Valentine's more for the casual hookup, or is it the relationship? I don't really think it's a relationship holiday, to be honest with you. People who've been in spend a long time with each other, they go out to dinner and they come home, but that,
I think you're trying to make me feel better, because you know what's funny?
What's that, buddy?
I've actually reached this point where Valentine's Day pisses me off.
Oh, well, it should piss you off. It's a horrible holiday.
You know who's my Valentine every year? The American flag.
Oh,
that's all I need. That's all I need. Am I bitter and alone? Yes, yes to both. And like we're having things tonight, like one of our boys was like, yeah, I can't make the stream tonight, and I was like, V-Day stuff, isn't it? Like, I can smell it. Everyone's just living their best life. I'm the Mantis. All I have is streaming
and Trump
and Trump. I don't even have the bottle anymore. The bottle at least used to soothe me. And like every bitch in my life, she turned on me. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm getting too wild right now. I'm getting too wild.
It's all good. So Beau, how do you pronounce it? Beau DeMayo? DeMayo.
Yeah.
Beau DeMayo.
Which is funny. DeMayo is a super Italian last name.
Or a super Creole last name. It's one of those racially ambiguous names where you see a brother that has it and you look at him, you're like, they not like us. Anyway, so, he got canned from his job for some stuff, some allegations. We don't.
We should say it before we start the video, because I don't know if he's going to go over it. But so this gentleman was the showrunner for a kids cartoon, X-Men.
That's
X-Men 97.
That's definitely
Well, obviously us old guys saw it, but and so I'm saying this is what Disney claims.
Yeah.
They're like, it's a family show. Turns out my man has an OnlyFans now.
Yeah.
The original accusation was he was fired simply for having an OnlyFans.
Yes.
He later on comes out and says, no, he also sends naked pictures of himself to interns.
Yes.
And he wasn't immediately fired. He was asked to stop, and he continued. So there's two different sides to every story, right? And now my man comes over with a half an hour video. I don't know if he's apologizing. I don't know if he's taking his side or what, but it should be interesting.
He's like, I'm going to keep sending pictures. No one can stop me.
Yeah, let's see. I hope he incriminates himself. I love it when they do that.
Oh, which translates to Day of Love and Friendship. That's cool, Poggy. Welcome in.
Yeah, welcome in, brother. Because here's what I'm saying. A lot of people are also, of course, they're trying to play, the LGBT card, right? And they're like, he's gay, so they fired him. At Disney nowadays, that is not a thing.
I know we're trying to go see the new Captain America movie. And you and I are so synced up. I noticed you haven't brought it up, right? About going to see it. which means that your interest in going to see it is probably at the same place mine's is right now, considering some of the stuff that's leaked out about it. Don't look on the internet, bro, but it's
I know I've seen it score. I've seen people talking about the score. I couldn't resist. They put online one of the end credit trail scenes, which end credit scenes, they've sucked for a while, so I'm not worried about that. Here's what it is. My excitement for not Falcon, I called him Falcon. Oh, wow. Now I'm the racist. He's Captain America, for Christ's sake. Captain America. What is this movie called? Oh, Brave New World.
Right.
Is not in the gutter. It's not like I'm hating on it. It's not. I am super curious. I want to know for myself what is going on. I don't love what I'm hearing. I don't love the tweets, man. Don't love the tweets. Jeremy Johns, my favorite reviewer, he has only 2 scores. Can you have fun without alcohol, or is it alcohol required? And he gave it an alcohol required.
Ooh, yeah. It's a tough look for a couple of sober guys.
I don't know what to say. Here's what I'm saying. People won't always agree. Maybe we'll go and we'll be the guys who love it.
Yeah. We should have went tomorrow. Front row, sitting there together. One popcorn bucket.
Holding hands. Both wearing you wear red, I wear pink.
Ooh, Dipset. Are you gonna play this video or
your ass? What?
I
said, get your head out of your ass.
You gonna play this video or what, man?
Yeah. let's move on, shall we?
Mr. DeMayo.
Oh, instead we're going Saturday night, guys. Saturday. It's the 15th. It's the 15th.
Yeah.
Nothing weird about that. Bunch of guys hanging out on a Saturday night.
Watching the black man fly around with wings.
Okay, let's see what this black man has to say for himself, Mr. OnlyFans man.
I want to welcome you to my new OnlyFans page.
What?
It's going to be a little bit unorthodox to what I'm doing here, admittedly, but I needed a safe space to be able to post this video as well as future content
originally
without fear of harassment, censorship. And before I get to what I plan to do with this page, I first want to address the massive elephant in the room. The allegations being made against me are very serious, and I take them seriously. It's why I took some time to myself these last few weeks. One, to sit with my legal team and figure out how best to respond. But more importantly, to sit with those I love, those closest to me, and assure them of what I will assure you now and what they already knew. These allegations of egregious misconduct are false. The rumors being spread around me online are lies, and they are offensive. But more concerning is that they're a smear campaign designed to discredit my credibility in order to cover up egregious, prejudicial misconduct. Stretching from select crew members on X-Men 97 all the way to the top of Marvel Studios.
Kevin Feige.
And they're not just trying to discredit me using incredibly misleading press releases, but also through coordinated leaks and bot attacks, as well as anonymous scoops being given to tabloid sites and podcasters. You've maybe heard some of these. I've heard rumbling and whispers about Beau. Now, back when I was in high school, we called this gossip. Unlike then, today, luckily, I have a legal team who has forensic investigators tracking these attack scoops and leaks so that we can hold those responsible for defamation, harassment, and for inciting outright criminal threats of violence.
Whoa.
Now, my lawyer told Deadline that this is Disney and Marvel's standard playbook. They have done this to other artists like me. With me, it's look at his Instagram. Doesn't he look thirsty? Isn't he a narcissistic egomaniac? Isn't it too vulgar, too sexual? This isn't someone celebrating their hard work. or their journey.
So I hate to cut him off because he was on a roll, and this is very professional, very smart video to put out. It's actually way better than I was expecting. But here's what I'm saying, and maybe he'll get into it, or maybe it'll come out. If he wasn't harassing people, why would they fire him?
Well,
what's the narrative here? What is the false?
Let's switch that around, man. So if it was a straight man, right, and this was being played in the red pill space, they would say these are drummed up charges of a successful man being persecuted by the matriarch, you know, and all the words, right? So I don't know, right? I don't know exactly what's going on. I've heard the allegations that he sent some, inappropriate photos and kept doing that. That's either going to be really easy to prove or really easy to disprove, right? Now, he's using all the buzzwords here, right? It's already got me thinking, like, this could be the way Disney deals with people. It's like, what did he say?
It's actually smart. It's actually would be smart. And like, if you were $1 billion company, you'd be a fool if you didn't use those tactics. Right? But all I'm saying is, since the Mantis is all about his grain, right? I don't care what you do at home or whatever. If you were a successful writer, and X-Men 97 was amazing, this guy's mind is amazing.
Yeah,
remember how everyone was complaining about What If?
Yes.
When What If season 3 came out, he tweeted a list of episodes that he would have written had he been on the show, and they were all better than everything they had.
Oh, yeah, he's doing a great job critiquing their flops, by the way.
Yeah, and this man knows his comic books.
Yes.
He clearly knew well when he did X-Men 97. It wasn't just a good experience. It was like the best superhero experience I've had in a long time.
And gosh darn it, he was writing Blade, or he would have wrote.
Yeah, and he was writing Blade. And so, but if someone that good was working for me, you OnlyFans away, brother. You get those dick pics out there, because more power to you.
And that's why it's crazy, because it's hard for me to think that Disney would have any issue with anyone from that community unless it was something egregious, or it was something you asked for that you knew you shouldn't be asking for, according to them, right? A little bit more equity in the company. Maybe he was like, I want to be able to whip it out on an intern unprovoked. Who knows? I don't know. Like, maybe they did, and maybe he came to the freak off and they were like, wait, Beau's with the business. We can't have him around, man. We were trying to keep it at a 5 tonight. He went to an 8. Who knows? We don't know, bro.
He brought extra baby oil.
Like, I'm with the business. All I do know is that this video thus far doesn't give me that feeling of like, oh, this is just a jaded actor trying to save what's left of his, you know what I'm saying? Like,
watching P. Diddy say he's innocent is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I was at the barbershop and my barber's like, have you watched the Diddy documentary? I was like, oh no. I wanted to say, please don't put it on. I was like, I'm in such a good mood. And he put it on, and man, it's just a rise and meteoric fall. Like,
he's suing NBC for $100 million.
He's gonna need it. He's gonna need it, bro.
Well, because he's saying that they went too far in what they reported, but come on, man.
It's absolutely nuts, man. Let's see what else Beau's got to say, man. Beau's got the high
overcoming.
What?
He probably cuts his own hair. That looks like a black man that cuts his own hair, right?
Years of internalized racism and homophobia to finally become comfortable in their own skin. No, this is something shameful. This is smoke for a larger fire of predatory behavior. Growing up gay and black in the South, I had to learn to accept that I am not everybody's cunt. And that I would, by virtue of just being me, rub some people the wrong way. And let's be honest, this is true of almost everyone. Personality conflicts happen, especially in creative environments like Hollywood. I've worked on a lot of series under some showrunners who have imparted some lessons to me that I tried to apply on X-Men 97. And now, having run a show, I look back with a newfound appreciation for the struggles those showrunners faced. And I think the biggest takeaway I've had is that nobody is perfect. We all make mistakes.
Yes.
Most of us are just trying to do our best.
Our very best.
And usually grace and empathy are the best response to conflict and adversity.
Okay.
Do you think about it? That's what X-Men 97 season 1 was all about.
Okay.
But what's happening with Marvel, what's been going on here, is unlike anything I've ever experienced in this industry.
The question becomes, do you think Marvel...
And it takes me back to those days.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Do you think Marvel's capable of doing this to a human being, tearing down their life?
I do. You know, because now they're playing by Disney's rule book. I think old Marvel wouldn't have.
Oh no, I think old publication Marvel was definitely capable of doing this. Like, give the kids some heroin and throw them out the car.
And then they're like, "All righter, writer died of OD."
What else have they done? What if they planted that white woman on Jonathan Majors? They were like, "Hey, this thing isn't working out. How can we get him out of here?" Activate the white woman.
I don't think it's wild. I don't think it's a wild idea. Basically, here's the problem, right? And of course, I'm going to seem like such a misogynist. I know you ladies are going to hate me. It's all right. I'm used to it. Remember, in the man-woman situation, the man is essentially always wrong, right? So all it takes is an accusation from a woman. So I could see Marvel being like, "Yeah, we'll pay you to instigate a fight with him, get him real angry."
Yeah. And if it goes wrong with the new Avengers movie, Robert Downey Jr. will mysteriously have a relapse. Right. He'll be back to smoking crack.
So let's actually think about it, because this is actually interesting. And so this is why I came to believe that all politics were corrupt and all these things. Think about it this way: in the movie sphere, each movie can create profits anywhere from hundreds of millions of dollars to $1 billion. You think they wouldn't kill somebody for that?
Yeah.
You think they wouldn't destroy multiple people's lives for a payday like that?
Right.
There's too much money at stake. And so I don't think it's that far-fetched to say that Disney might be having people killed or addicted to drugs or framed for things.
Listen, when billions of dollars are on the line, I would definitely start to move a little differently. It's like, I don't know how many times I have to tell you not to do what you're doing. It seems as if though you want me to kill you.
Right. And like, for instance, you're going to gamble your fortune on some punk director who has an idea.
Yeah.
Like, screw that, man.
That's how I know Ryan Coogler is paid up with the ancestors. Like, if anyone should be on Disney's radar after Black Panther 2, they should be like, "Well, we will kill you, Ryan." He's like, "So what? I'm going to make my own Blade movie." It's got the ancestors protecting it.
I mean, the movie hasn't premiered yet. Watch it. If God forbid, we got to pray for him, because God forbid something happens to him.
Yeah,
like the night before the premiere or something.
Yeah. What's the name?
Sinners.
Are you gonna go see it? Oh, are you frozen? He is frozen. He's not that deep in thought. No, I'm alone. Is the stream frozen? Oh, there you are.
Yeah. No, I was talking for a while and I was like, you were just staring at me. I was like, "You feel me, bro?" You just kept staring away. I think we're still in the stream. It claims we're still in the stream.
We're still in the stream. I mean, we don't have.
You didn't freeze again. You're fucking with me.
No, I didn't freeze again.
No, please.
No, I can hear you, man. I can hear you. I'm still here, bro. I'm still here.
Yeah, he is frozen.
No, I'm not. I'm not frozen. I'm right here. I'm not frozen. I'm still going in the stream. I can literally see myself moving in the actual stream. You know what? Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. I was like, gosh, dang it. We're ending this right now. No, but lastly, here's what I want to say, man. Like, I don't know what's going on with this situation, but it's weird. And it's weird. It's weird. And it's got him dressed as Cyclops in the outfit, and it's odd. It's rubbing against people's prejudice, and so I'm not gonna say anything about this black man.
I roll anybody when they break out they're being racist to me. They're being, and he's doing the double card. He's like, internalized homophobia. I'm like, They have so many human resources people at Disney. They actually probably wouldn't pull the trigger on a firing, especially someone in a protected category, unless they had a lot on you.
Yeah. Or unless none of that really matters when someone that powerful is like, do you think we actually listen to our human resources? That's all an illusion.
Or maybe you're right.
Like, well, I can pull this trigger, you'll be dead.
Because remember, guys, human resources are not, even though they're called human resources, they are not there to protect you. They are there to protect the company.
100%.
They will do whatever grime it is, or they'll get you to confess or do whatever to screw you over. Yes,
absolutely. Especially if you work at a retail big box store. Don't trust your managers unless it's me. I'm a man of the people. Those other people, they'll show you on the second.
No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, let me give you a snippet of the new segment on Tuesday. So we're going to talk about shady behaviors of managers, one of which being forcing people out of their jobs via way of write-ups. Have you ever seen anything like this where it's that one management gets together and they're just like, they've made a collective decision that you're now going to the altar, right? They're like, he is really late all the time. And it's like, oh. Like, if lions could talk, that's how they talk about the gazelle they're about to eat. Like, he is running the slowest, hasn't hit his numbers in a little while, and the little things start popping up. They're just like, I don't know, I don't think he really actualizes anymore, really operates.
I know it all too well. I've definitely seen it,
right?
But I've been a participant of it before. I at one time I used to be a manager at a gym. I was a customer service manager at a gym. And one of my cleaners, this guy was a bodybuilder. He clearly was working here just for the free gym membership. He was in the gym more than he was working. When he worked, he didn't clean shit. And he was always calling out and claiming a mental health. I need a mental health day. I need a mental health day. And it got to the point where here's what it is. Everything I wrote him up for, he deserved. He actually did do. But I certainly put him in situations where I'm like, he'll never be able to clean that room in time. kind of situation, you know what I mean?
That is insidious. But it's true. It's the culture of these type of jobs. And one thing I want to point out to you, and like I'm already enjoying this segment, man. Maybe we'll put this up on the IG. Is you ever noticed the big bosses? Okay. You ever go see the Harlem Globetrotters play before?
Yeah.
When
I was a kid.
Yeah, they're talented performers.
Yeah.
But they'll never make it in the NBA. We can all agree on that, right?
Right.
I get that same feeling when I'm with the big bosses, right? You'll never make it at a real corporate job. That's why you're wearing that tight blue shirt. And you're and you're talking in a way that makes you're trying to impress upon me how much of a big box retail success you are. But if I took you to Wall Street and had you sit around some broker guys, they'd be like, so what do you do, kid? Oh, really? You guys had a staff meeting? Did you have a little diagram?
you were dropping the wild news tonight on these poor people.
Did you have a conference? Did you guys fly to Texas to do a thing?
To do a thing. Well, you got some issues. You got some real issues with this guy.
Bro, it's crazy, man. Did you know that our former company silently last year allegedly ended their DEI processes and hirings without telling anyone? Yeah. I'm going to expose it all without using one word.
Well, remember, even though no one listens to this podcast, you are on a podcast right now.
I'm gonna come right at him.
Well, but here's what I'm saying. Why is the Mantis hard on DEI, right? And what it is
you
that
hate Samoans.
Well, that and and that it has yet to proven to give value to the product in which you sell things. Right?
I get you. Okay. So that's a valid point. Here's my issue with it. It doesn't help the people it's intended to help, right? to lift up one person out of the crab bucket. You got to push 5 more down. And it's just not, especially in these low ranking jobs. I do believe that in a system where people are constantly overlooked, we have to take these things into consideration. Like, hey, man, you guys hire a lot of old white guys here. It's very odd that there are no young people working in your office. Then I think DEI should impact it in that way. Now, this is not going to be.
Oh, right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that type of stuff.
But it's definitely not. It's definitely not being used to correct those things.
Absolutely not. But that's for another segment for another time. We'll have Mantis on, and we're just gonna we'll speak in code. Don't worry, I'm not worried about it. But we got to talk about this, man. Like you've worked at some places where it's just like, oh shit, this guy really thinks like he's an executive.
I honestly cannot wait for this segment. It's going to be a lot of fun.
He's got a clipboard in his hand with papers, and he's talking to me about activating.
But so that's what it's going to be on the docket for Tuesday over on Mike Check over on Riz Radio.
It's going to be called Activation Tuesdays.
Activation Tuesday. I'm there.
Every week it'll be another buzzword from your favorite low-end jobs.
Well, so check this out. I'm calling it right now. Next week, whether Courtney, otherwise known as Shaolin Iceboxer, is with us or not, we are talking Spider-Man. We are talking Invincible. It is crazy that we haven't gone into reviews of these right now.
Yeah, man. I've just been sitting around. Bro, I don't know about you, man, but I've just been reading the Bible. That's all I've been doing recently. You
need to stop, and you need to start watching these violent cartoons that I've gotten on. Oh man! Oh wait, because I don't want to spoil anything for you, but this is good stuff.
All right. You're gonna watch Wheels of Time, man. You didn't watch Agatha, so you're gonna watch some lesbian.
I'll watch Wheels of Time. I'll watch Wheels. Oh, I'll watch the hell out of that show.
You owe me, man. I watched friggin' Transformers, right? And it doesn't. Was
it not great?
It was great. Now you gotta watch Agatha.
I'll watch Wheels of Time.
Good night, everyone.
I don't know why you want me to watch a show about an old woman. I don't even get it.
Why do you hate old women?
It's like the Golden Girls of the MCU or something. That's what it looks like.
It's so good, man. It's
a bunch of old women who are like, we're witches. We're witches and we're recovering. Oh yeah. Weird. I'm gonna pass. But I will watch that Wheels of Time. You know why?
Right.
A lot of good lookers in that show.
Young hot witches.
Yes.
Mantis is back on his old producer grind.
Oh, yeah.
Off the set.
I'll watch her weave a spell any day. But you have fun tonight?
I did, man. Sunday nights, Tuesday nights, man. You know what it is, man.
You can catch us over on Riz Radio, and you can catch me, of course, Saturday, Sundays, 6 to 10 p.m. over on Riz Radio, where I do Burn Your Degree, where I make you question the answer. Plus, we've got today's best music mixed in with random K-pop and indie music. Really, there's no theme to this radio station. I don't know what I was thinking when I decided, but please check it out. Please check it out. This is the Fanboy Modeling School, calling it another one. Have a good one. And for those of you who are lucky enough to get laid, have a happy St. Valentine's Day.